There are many reasons why you should or should not buy a racing wheel, and it's my new passion, so I thought I'll make a video just to help out the people who are considering whether to spend cash out and spend a lot of money on a racing wheel like this one I have right here. I'm not going to review this wheel, it's an old model, the Logitech G25, but I just thought a good video on whether you should or should not will help a lot of people. So if you haven't noticed, I'm sweaty, face is oily, and my body stinks. Well, you can't smell me through the camera, but my school just ended a few hours back and I really haven't had time to shower because I thought I'll make a video. And I'm so rusty with my presenting skills that I've taken many takes of this shot right here, of this A-roll right here. So if I stammer a lot in the final product, I'm sorry. But moving on. So this is a racing wheel, obviously. It's used for playing driving games where you drive whatever vehicle you want, and it adds a lot. So let's start with the reasons why you should get one of these. Well, realism, I just said so. It's a brilliant tool. It's better than using even just a simple analog controller like a Xbox controller or PS4 controller for racing games. It really adds another depth and another dimension when it comes to driving in your driving games. It's realistic, it's fun, and it adds so much into the simulation and experience that I think is a good reason why you should buy a racing wheel. Right now I'm playing Assetto Corsa, which is my favorite racing game, but you can actually see the screen, so that's fine. But I have only had this for a couple of days, but it's been one of the most fun experiences I've ever had when it comes to playing games at all. There are other reasons, of course, of why you should get a racing wheel. If you say maybe you want to get better at driving, or you're learning a driving test, then having racing simulator, having a decent setup, allows you to practice at home without having to go to driving lessons or go out to drive in an actual car. This is brilliant because it means that you can have no issue whatsoever in terms of getting extra practice with whatever driving test you're going for. Maybe it's your ARDS racing license driving test, or just your normal driver's license test. So a brilliant way to get good practice when it comes to driving. And finally, it's just great fun. I love it. It's realistic, it's fun. I really said realistic, but it's really fun. I cannot emphasize how fun this is. It's been the most enjoyable gaming experience I had in basically forever. The only better experience I had was when I first discovered PC gaming, and that was the best. And it's probably unbeatable. But this one comes a close second. But there are definitely a few reasons why you should not get a racing wheel. Well, for one, it's price. Unless you get second-hand, and I know a lot of people that don't like buying second-hand technology, you have to spend quite a bit of money on a racing wheel. This is the Logitech G25, and it's a really old wheel. I bought mine second-hand, which is why I actually can afford it on my student pocket money budget. But overall, if you're just a student as well, but you can't get a new wheel, and maybe you don't like buying second-hand stuff, so you're probably not going to be able to afford it. And even if you could afford a cheap wheel, having the features that you want, like a 3-pedal setup or a hitch shifter or good force feedback, well, that will cost quite a bit more as well. So it's definitely an expensive hobby, an expensive thing to buy. So the price is definitely comes into consideration when it comes to buying racing wheels. Another thing, of course, why you should not buy one is maybe you don't have the time to race it. Well, not everybody has the time, because every time you race one of the racing wheels, you gotta set it up and everything, you gotta boot up the game, and because it's so expensive, it means that you have to use it very often before it becomes really worth it at all. So basically, if you don't have a lot of time, you shouldn't be buying one of these wheels, because really the amount of time needed to make the purchase worthwhile, well, probably you won't have it. So that's another reason of why you should not buy a racing wheel. Another reason, of course, is space. Not everybody has a huge house. I still have difficulties storing this wheel, even though I have a decent sized room. And even if you have space to store it, because some wheel stands fold out, like the one I have, the Wheel Stand Pro, you might not have space to actually use the damn thing, because having it set up and spread out, well, that takes up a lot of space as well, which means, well, if you don't have a lot of space, you can't use it, and that definitely sucks. Another thing, of course, is to look out for when deciding whether you should or should not buy one is, of course, whether you have the passion for racing games. Some people find it okay fun for a few hours, and then after that get really bored and make this expensive purchase pointless and not worthwhile. I know a lot of people, which is why I managed to get this wheel for really cheap, because I know people that don't really have a passion for racing and racing wheels, and hence get bored after a while. So you have to test it out, maybe try your friend's simulator before you decide whether you actually really enjoy driving on racing wheels, because if you don't, then don't waste money, obviously. And another thing, of course, is you have to ensure that your racing wheel, well, it's compatible with whatever you're using. So if you're if you're PC, you won't have a worry, but if you're PS4 or Xbox, then you might have to check for compatibility issues. Another thing, of course, is whether you need it or not. I mean, if you're just driving in a game like GTA or Battlefield, then you don't need a racing wheel. That's just pointless and a waste of money. So, but if you're racing an actual simulator or actual racing game like Forza or Assetto, Corsa or iRacing or Project Cars, then of course a racing wheel will help out in the experience a lot. Anyway, this has been just a whether you should or should not buy a racing wheel kind of video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro. And if you guys did enjoy it or found it helpful, definitely like and subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. And if you want to have more time, watch another video linked on the screen. That would be awesome as well. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. And another thing, sorry for being rusty. I haven't presented in, well, 2 months. So getting back at it is a bit more difficult. Sorry for that. But I'm trying to get back to where I was before examinations. I hope you guys like the new intro. If you have any comments about it, definitely tell me in the comments below. I'll love to know more. And I guess that's about it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.